First mystery. Just 2 years ago, he was a man on top of draft charts with a conference-disrupting franchise behind him. And then last year, disaster struck. Erratic behavior, sideline altercations, and personal injury took him off track. Who am I talking about? It's Jaguars running back Leonard Fournette. Why is he shrouded in mystery? Well, because we've seen, up until now, a tale of two Leos. You're looking at a guy who, in his first season in the league, was nothing short of incredible, playing in most of the games, averaging over 100 scrimmage yards a game, and lots of touchdowns last year. Oh, no, that was not the case. He disappeared. Milk cartons. He was lost.
Vanished.
Yes, and there were some character issues. The questions here, to be real, are: what is the deal with your production dip? 3.3 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns rushing last year. That's not what I want to see. And the health, guys. He missed 9 games with injury. Then you add maturity stuff with 2 games missing with suspensions. You can't punch Shaq Lawson and be on my fantasy team. You just can't do it. So to me, let's look at the ranking here and where he's going at NFL.com. 13th at the running back spot. I think this is perfect. I like where he's going. There's no competition in that backfield. There's no questions or mystery surrounding the fact that he's the feature guy. And DeFilippo loves him. DeFilippo's making a point to give him the ball in the passing game as well. So his floor is a little bit higher. He says he's rejuvenated. He's feeling a little bit more mature. He's surrounding himself with the right people. I think DeFilippo's a good thing for him, and I think Foles helps open things up for Leonard Fournette. So at 13, as your RB2, I'm in on Leonard Fournette.
Wow. I like Leonard.
Our next case features a young man who disappeared before anybody knew that he was even there. A rising star ready to work in our nation's capital. But when he showed up for his first day, he was lost immediately. Only to be heard from on Instagram and DMs and on Twitter. Now he's resurfaced on draft boards across the country. One question still remains. Can he be trusted to stick around for the long haul? I'm talking about, any guesses?
Who?
This guy.
29.
Oh!
Okay.
With the Redskins. We love what he can do, what we saw him do on college, why he was drafted, but the questions are huge. Injury concerns. This is a guy who tore his ACL the first preseason game, and then we didn't see him, and then he had multiple surgeries recently because he was dealing with an infection. But then when you look at the talent, this is that game, guys. The debut.
Get into it.
This is what you want. This is the ball of butcher knives that Kyle Brandt so eloquently talks about and is excited to see. And you look at, there's the other questions, though. What is his role week 1? Is he even starting week 1? Is he a backup behind Adrian Peterson at 1,000 yards last season? Is he involved in the passing game, as this team is surely going to be playing from behind? Game script matters here. And if Chris Thompson's racking up all those catches, I don't know what the role is. Is he working himself into rotation? And then the biggest red flag, the mystery that is Trent Williams. Will he be there? One of the best offensive line players in our game right now, and he's not there, so I think that's a huge knock. Looking at the rankings of Derrick Guice and where he's going outside the top 30 to actually really love, because that makes him a running back 3, and you're paying a running back 3 price for a guy who might be an RB1 at the end of it. If he comes and he's healthy and has his mind right, I'm into it. But that said, he hasn't been even clear to play fully in contact.
A lot of mystery.
Yeah,
you got a lot of back on the field.
Not a lot of stuff going on.
Come on,
okay,
Derek.
Final mystery. Let's go back to the shrouds.
What do you got? Shroud it.
A superstar who was part of a MVP conversation less than a year ago. However, when it was time to really shine, he was MIA. Some witnesses reported seeing him on a bicycle instead of running the ball when it mattered most. A dagger in the hearts of fantasy owners, and all that is left is a cloud of questions. Very few answers, though. This is the story of running back Todd Gurley.
This is it.
There's just too many questions. It is a cloud, an enigma, wrapped in a conundrum, wrapped in a puzzle. I don't know what to make of it. I've got lots of them, like, what's actually wrong with you? Is it arthritis? Is it something deeper? How worried do I need to be? There aren't answers. Why aren't you telling us what's wrong with you? That's another question. Why did you go and draft Darrell Henderson in the 3rd round? Yes, it's a 3rd rounder, but you're going to use him. And why are you speaking so glowingly about this guy all throughout training camp? Why aren't you going to Hawaii? Are you going to Hawaii? We don't quite know.
Wouldn't you want to?
We don't know what's going on. But I will say, if you're looking at his ranking, he's going 6th among running backs, which is rich. But then you look at him and you think, this is the #1 fantasy running back last season. This is a guy who scored 21 touchdowns. So at 6, if you're sitting there and it's Todd Gurley or David Johnson, who are you taking, guys?
I want Gurley.
I got Gurley.
Roll on Gurley.
I think I'm going David Johnson over Gurley there.
Okay.
How come?
But I wouldn't put him above anybody else. I like where he's going. If you take him in that first round, that's okay. But it likely could slip to you the second round because it's so many mysteries and questions. Any thoughts, guys?
Hey,
I solve these.
I think so many people were burned by Le'Veon Bell last year, not knowing what the deal was, that they're going to stay away from Todd Gurley. Because if you spent a first-round pick on Bell, you were done for the season. You had to recover. This is the question because everyone's like, I love him, but what are we getting?
Let me ask you this. If it was for you right now and you know both of these teams well, you're working the Jets game tonight.
Yeah.
If you were to pick between Lev and Gurley, where's your comfort?
I would go
level?
Gurley. I would go Gurley just on what I've seen in that offense with McVay and then say, hey, any player can get injured. Any player can have a knee issue. At least let me go with Gurley. I know what I'm going to get. I don't know what I'm getting with Bell.
I don't know what I'm getting with Gurley week 10, week 11. Is he getting 10 less carries a game? Is Darrell Henderson working his way into the hearts of that offense?
Good question.
And am I going to be wearing this trench coat every week, putting him in my lineup, hoping that he's okay down the stretch when I need him most in my fantasy playoffs and championship?
I'm glad you brought. I don't remember Robert Stack wearing a Burberry trench coat. That's kind of updated.
Can't hide money.
This is from Zara.
Oh,
And it's
I don't know what that
falling
means.
apart and off, and I apologize. It'll be better next time. Will Selva out in the newsroom in Culver City. Take it away. Hey, Will.
Thank you, Kay. Love the segment. Well, we have yet to see Odell Beckham Jr. in a game for the Browns, and now we know why. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reporting OBJ has a minor hip injury, but it's not a hip pointer. According to Tom, he's expected to be full go soon. What we have seen is a more physical camp for the Browns, one that head coach Freddie Kitchens said has been a bit of a culture shock for some of the players, but quarterback Baker Mayfield has welcomed the change for a team that is looking to take the next step to earning a playoff berth.
I think part of the culture change is definitely beating some of that out. Being a tougher team, being that mentality of coming out and realizing that we're going to be the tougher people every day and work for it. And so I think it's caught some people off guard a little bit, but me being around Freddie last year, not so much.
You think the guys in the locker room are behind it, though?
Absolutely. I think we got guys that are bought in right now, and that's the best part about it.
Dolphins running back Kenyon Drake, meanwhile, spotted with a walking boot on his right foot at practice Wednesday. Drake sat out to join practice with the Buccaneers, but Dolphins head coach Brian Flores is hopeful that the running back will be ready for the Week 1 opener against the Ravens. A good morning football is apparently the way to improve your golf swing, my friends. This was recently brought to my attention. Had no idea about this at all. The GMFB football was featured in Golf Magazine. They could use a Nerf football, a college football, but no, this is called brand awareness, my friends. We are absolutely everywhere, and maybe it came from our friend Hunter Mahan, who religiously, at least supposedly, religiously watches our show every morning. Maybe that's where the football came from, but out of nowhere, a GMFB football. Kay, this should inspire you to grab the sticks and go out to the golf course. You got to.
I was going to say, this is another mystery you can solve for us. How and why was that football used as the prop?
On a golf show.
How did he get that ball? And so my dad visited this set and said, "Can I have one of those balls?" No. They grabbed his wrist and he couldn't have the ball. This gentleman behind his back doing a swing. Who is that, man? How did this happen?
Who is that guy?
Gotta go break. Let's go.
Amazing story. More good morning football on the way. We have a full slate of action, 5 games. We're expecting to see Kyler Murray play tonight. Is that a mistake? Not you.